Ramon speaks fluent goat. So Ramon, in his best goat Spanish, is going to call the goats so they come up so we can go meet the goats.
I heard the goat's name is Ben.
No way.
Wow. Oh, wow. Wow. Oh my gosh.
Okay, so white goats on a essential oil farm. The biggest reason, the main thing they use with the goats is the manure. It's part of the organic composting process that they have down here, fertilizer, that we're going to learn more when we get to our next station. They do milk all the goats. They've got the stations back there, separated into cream, send that to the school for the school to use for the kids. Sometimes they sell it. And then they also use them as natural weed control. They can let them out in the fields and they eat all the grasses and weeds and stuff. So if you'd like to hold a goat, you're welcome to hold a goat. And there's about 100 or so. There you go.
Okay.
You got held too much last week.
It's heavy.
Yeah, it's solid.
Okay, so welcome to the worm house. The large piles of soil you'll see behind us is where the story starts. So this is, they take the plant material after it comes out of the distillery, they bring it out here, they mix it with the goat manure and then some soil, and they mix it all up and they cover it and they let it decompose for about 4 weeks. And then they'll remove the covering, churn it all up, get some more oxygen in there, cover it back up. Anybody who does their own compost knows the story. And then once it gets to a pH of 6.5, then they'll bring it in and put it in the worm beds. Now the kids at the school stole my thunder because now they have their worm beds. So if any of you saw that, I need to just hire the kids and they can come do this for me because they probably know more about it than I do. But before we go inside, this right here is a big cistern. So they've got to, you keep the worm beds moist for the worms. All that moisture seeps down through the beds and they collect it in this big cistern that's underneath us. And this is like super nitrogen rich, like the best fertilizer you can imagine. So they'll use this and they'll take it and they'll spray it in the greenhouse, which is where we'll go next. They'll spray it out in the fields. So you probably don't want to go swimming in that, but it's really great for the plants. Renovated the the worm house. They made them wider, so now they can lift up these front panels and they can drive a tractor right in here. It's the perfect width for a bucket, and they can come in and scoop it up. So they take the soil, they bring it in here, and we've got California worms as the species of worms, and there's about 8,000 to 10,000 worms per square meter in these beds.
Square meter?
Yeah.
Oops.
So it takes about 4 months for the beds to fill completely up. You can see them at varying levels. So the worms just do their thing, eat all the nutrients, poop it out, and then it just makes a really great natural fertilizer, as you saw what the kids are doing with it down at the school.
Oh, wow.
Once the beds are full, they've got some like worm treats, I don't know what it is, and they sprinkle that on the top and it brings all the worms up to the surface so they can scoop up all the worms and just move them over to another bed. So you can rest easy that no worms are harmed in the making of your oils. Once it's ready to go, they've got big trays that have like mesh on them on different sizes. And so they'll sift the soil, and the smaller sized mesh, they will take that and use that in the greenhouse for the greenhouse cups to start the plants. The other stuff, they don't need to do that. They just scoop it up and they put it in the tractors and they take it out in the fields and spread it out on the fields for organic fertilizer. So it's a pretty cool process. Any questions I may or may not be able to answer about worms? Okay. So not only do the aromatic plants start out here that they make into oils, but you'll see names of a lot of plants that you're like, wait, we don't have an oil for that. Some of the flowering plants that you'll see in there, it's landscaping. They'll use landscaping here around the farm and down at the school. A lot of the plants that are down at the school started here. The other focus is the conservation initiative that is so vital and important to the finca here and to Young Living as a whole. There's a lot of plants that are endangered. With you guys, as you drove out here, you saw all of the expansion and all the building and all of the there's so much construction and building new homes and things like that. A lot of the plants native to Ecuador are endangered, and so as part of the conservation efforts, they'll grow a lot of those. So you'll see some of the names you don't recognize. Those are native Ecuadorian plants that they'll use as in the fields between the crop rows, again more at the school, but just as an effort to help bring those plants back. So you can see we got Palo Santo here. There's Palo Santo as well behind you. That's another initiative that the farm is doing down here, is they purchase some land in a different part of Ecuador that's a little bit better for Palo Santo to grow. You guys haven't gone to the Palo Santo forest. You'll do that after lunch. So there is Palo Santo that grows naturally here, but there's better climates for it. And Palo Santo is also endangered. So they grow a lot of the Palo Santo starts, and then they truck it to the area where they are planting Palo Santo as well. Ylang-ylang starts in here. There's some ylang-ylang in there. But we can walk in here and you can see some of the other plants. But when we go down there for lunch, they have a whole bunch of this, which is an Ecuadorian basil that they're getting ready to distill.
We were just there before.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right, you were. Typically for like the oregano and the Incan Melissa, which there's some Incan Melissa over there, if you can rub the leaf and smell it, and it smells amazing. It's about 3 to 4 weeks is all to get the plants big enough to where they can move them out to the fields. So they do bring a lot of plants from other parts of the world down here to see how well it grows, because the growing season is so long. I know they tried to bring the Idaho Melissa down here, but the climate just wasn't, it was too hot, too humid for it. But the Incan Melissa thrives, and honestly I think it smells better. So there we go. Over here on this side is oregano. You can rub the leaf and it makes you hungry. It's almost lunchtime. Seeing these cups all came from the worm beds, and that's the finer sifting that they do to use here in the cups. In about 5 minutes, you guys can go around and look at the different plants, take some pictures, and then we'll go to the next station. Jacob was young, like 6, 7, 8, somewhere around there. And like every little kid, he's like, Dad, I want a treehouse. And when I asked my dad for a treehouse, I got like 4 pieces of plywood with some rusty nails. May or may not have been safe. In typical Gary fashion, he built a treehouse. So you all can go up and take a look at it, about 10 to 15 at a time. So just kind of make sure if someone comes down, and just go up, take some quick photos so we have enough time for everybody to go check it out. In the afternoon, you guys can come back. There you can see there's a zip line that goes from up there back down to the main house. You guys can ride the zip line and check it out. You can come down and stay in the tree house if you ever want to come back to Ecuador. It would be a cool experience. So that is an option. Yep, you can book it.